Jim Beckwith reporting here from Red State Watcher. Well, we have about 3 pieces of news here. John Glenn receives a hero's send-off. Please share to honor the memory of a true American hero. Politicians, military personnel, and private citizens braved the cold and icy conditions to say their final goodbyes to hero John Glenn. Mourners who braved cold and icy roads are packing in an Ohio State University auditorium ahead of a memorial service for space pioneer John Glenn as his funeral procession approaches the hall. Barricades have been placed along the main road from State House to Mershon Auditorium to accommodate the procession of Glenn's hearse to the memorial service called a Celebration of Life for the former fighter pilot, astronaut, and longtime Democratic U.S. Senator from small town Ohio. Democratic Vice President Joe Biden is among those expected to take part in the Saturday afternoon service. A host of other dignitaries, including President and former governors, members of Ohio's congressional delegation, and university leaders, were in attendance. And moving on, what happened to this liberal crybaby is throwing a tantrum. If you guessed Michael Moore, you've been paying attention. Moore is still calling for protests and civil disobedience against Trump. It's cold outside, Michael, and it's almost Christmas. Ain't nobody got time for that. Breitbart.com reports on Friday's broadcast of MSNBC, all-in filmmaker Michael Moore, of course it's from MSNBC, argued that President-elect Donald Trump has no right to enter the White House. Moore called for protesting, obstructing, disrupting, civil disobedience, beating up people. What else is there? Destroying, breaking windows, theft. He added, the man has no right to enter that house, so let's destroy this city and this town and this nation because of it. There are too many questions about the whatever collusion was going on. They admitted that they were in touch with the Russians during the campaign. Yes, we're all Russians and we all live in the U.S., okay, Michael? Get over it. They admitted that they were in touch with the Russians during the campaign. They have said that so we would need to know as Americans what the hell is going on there. And he does not have a mandate. He does not have a mandate. Liberal crazies.
We have an election coming up in 2017, and they know that many of them are going to be voted out of office, so now they're trying to engage in a coup. If this was going on in any other country, America would be outraged. If this was going on in any other country, the President of the United States and others would even speak out. Even candidates would speak out against it, because what you see going on here is just blatant, unconstitutional meanness. It's like apartheid government. It's like fascism. It's wrong.
All right, Reverend Barber saying if this was going on in any other country, we would all be outraged. Still with us, Michael Moore. And I want to talk to you about what is going on in North Carolina. In some ways, I think it's actually the most important story in the country right now this week.
It's an amazing story.
Because it is such a flagrant violation.
Right.
It's technically procedurally, it's technically legal. They can do this. They have a supermarket.
Right.
But it is such a manifestly sort of, it seems so illegitimate that it's straining the bounds of something that feel pretty...
Well, have you heard enough of the fake news? Sad, but true. We live amongst a bunch of liars. It's just like it says in Psalms, it says, for the people mourn, and when there's a terrible leader in charge. But in Hosea, it talks about how there is no truth in the land. For they blood breaketh out with blood, and there's murder and nothing but lies and deceit. Also, it's in Jeremiah. I was just listening to a little while ago. Sooner or later, God does judge the land when this continues. But God doesn't judge any country until the rapture happens. Now, just to briefly remind you what's going on in the Bible versus Bible prophecy, in the last 8 years, it seems like so many terrible things have happened to America because of Obama and, of course, our past presidents as well. And see, that is the culmination of God letting evil reign if you continue your evil. You vote it in, you bring it in, you let it reign in the government, you continue your abominations everywhere in the nation, then he lets it happen. You get a piece of your own medicine. It's not God's judgment. No, never. Did God judge Job? No. God let Satan tempt and persecute Job. Read the story. So the fact of it is that it's many YouTubers with their false teaching, and I'm going to be nice and not name so many. Most of them have tried to brainwash most of you into believing that we live in the tribulation, that God is judging this nation, and that he pours out his fire and brimstone, and that you need to be tried through the fire as Revelation and the Old Testament say, but we don't live in that dispensation. That happens right after the rapture. Unfortunately, at these ill-gotten ilk that comes from the ilk that comes from these pathetic teachers on YouTube, they don't understand that the church started in the book of Acts, and it's the church age of grace, as Paul says in Scripture. They don't want to tell you those truths. So they continually tell you that it's a post-trib rapture and we're almost done with the tribulation. Yeah, folks, if you believe that, you have no idea what's coming. If that was even partially true, then you would have 2/3 of the world's population dead. Have you seen that? Because that's what the book of Revelation says. But it really disgusts me, because when I see these false teachers come on my channel, I chop them down right away. Why? Because they are teaching that God blows out his fire and brimstone to the Sodom and Gomorrah and left Lot in there, and he killed Lot. But that wasn't the truth, was it? He also put his 10 plagues on Egypt. He also put them on the children of Israel, right? That's what they're teaching you. You see, God never judged the righteous with the wicked. But that's what they want you to believe, that God is some sort of dictator. They're not really preachers of God. They're preaching another Jesus, another God. And so for that reason, that's why I will not let anyone come on my channel if I catch them teaching any kind of post-trib rapture, mid-trib rapture, mid-wrath, or anything but a pre-trib rapture. Now, I have forgiveness and grace, and I have plenty of grace for filthy sinners who come on my channel and use the F-bomb. But you come on my channel and you defame God's character when you know better, you will be chopped down and blocked. Let that be a warning to anyone who comes on my channel and tries to do that, because you are defaming God's character and teaching another Jesus. All right, so with that being said, after my rant, Obama family takes one final vacation at your expense. Yes, while Donald Trump is denying Boeing to build him a $4.2 billion Air Force One jet for him, so that's too expensive. That does not need to be spent on me. That is a waste of money to build great America. In the meantime, Obama squanders your money once again while he continues with his $800 billion deficit per year, which is over $750 billion per year, digging into your pockets and destroying America. But we should be happy for Barack Obama and Michael. Yes, I did say Michael. Hey, I can say Michael. After all, Barack said called his significant other Michael as well in front of many generals. The first family is on their final holiday vacation in Hawaii at the taxpayers' expense. WashingtonExaminer.com reports President Obama and his family arrived in Hawaii late Friday night for the first family's final annual holiday trip to the Pacific Islands. How quaint, how nice. Obama descended the steps of Air Force One at 10:45 p.m. HST at the tropical 70-degree temperature, according to press pool reports. Governor David Ige, Democrat of Hawaii, Honolulu, Mayor Kirk Caldwell, Senator Brian Schatz, Republican Hawaii, Admiral Harry Harris, commander of the U.S. Pacific Command, were on hand to greet the president at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam. I'd sincerely doubt that Senator Brian Schultz, Republican of Hawaii, was really enthused. First, unless he was a bureaucratic Republican. The first family was transported to the northwest side of Oahu, where they will be staying for the 2-week vacation. Sorry to give you that vexing news of how he's spending probably another $1 million of your tax money wasted. Breaking: China agrees to return our Navy drone. Now, I just reported this, but again, Washington and Beijing have agreed to terms to return a Navy drone captured in the disputed waters of the South China Sea to the U.S., the Pentagon announced Saturday, thanks to Donald Trump, telling them, you will return it to us. While Obama's playing golf in Hawaii. So that'll be it for this news wrap. We'll see you again soon. And we have the rallies of Orlando and Alabama coming out today on my channel. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to click on the bell on the right side of my main, of the home part of my channel, so you can get notified when I put out videos. I'm doing usually 15 to 20 videos per day.